Hi guys, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to put an attachment on the side of the K1 Max to allow the lid to be put there so it's out of the way when you don't need to use it. And we're going to move the spool from the back of the machine to the side of the machine where it's a bit more accessible. Okay, let's go. Okay guys, here we are. So this view here, the main one, is the side of the machine. So this side here. This is the front, of course, and this is the top. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is take out, there's 4 screws we need to take out at the side here. There's one there, there's one straight across from it there, there's one there, and there's one straight across from it there. And we're going to install these bits here that I got on Thingiverse. I'll put the it might have been printables actually. I'll put the link in the description below anyway. And these basically just go on like that, and then the lid can slide in. So what you need is a 2mm hex spanner. So they either come like this, but I just got one and I put printed off a little handle like so, and put the tape there just to hold it in place a bit better. But it just makes it a lot easier to use. It's also probably good if you have a little container, put the screws in. Now, the screws on the side are really tiny. I'll find that one later. They're like tiny, yeah, if you can see. Tiny screws. Okay, so they're not long enough to go back in with these on. So what you need to get is it's an M3. I think I'm using a M3 12mm length. M3 is the diameter of the screw. So once you get all 4 off, it doesn't take long. Okay, so my screws are over here. Now I buy them in when I get stuff. I've got over this one. I buy them in these little kits like this. M3 is the sort of most common one that I found that most printers have. So I buy them little kits like this, Amazon, eBay, all those sort of places. They're all over the place. That way you've got heaps on hand when you need them, and they're heaps cheaper than going to your local hardware store. But if you prefer not to do online, all hardware stores will have these. And basically, I put it through first so you've got some hold on it, and then just screw it in place. Okay, as you can see, it doesn't take long. Make sure you screw it in well so there's no bits to scrape on the glass when you put the lid in it. Okay, it helps if these are magnetic as well. So if you get a magnet and put it up against it, give it a bit of a rub, they usually become magnetic. What have I done there? There we go. Okay, so I've just so you know that the next one hopefully the next one I'm doing is the filament comparison between the K1 Max and the Bambu P1P. I've printed off all the items I need to print off so we can do the little comparison. So that's it. It's a 5-second job. When you take the lid off, you just slide in the side there, and it just sits there out of the way and it won't get broken accidentally and all that sort of stuff. And when you want to put it back on, easy, yeah. So for all your PLAs and stuff like that, you sort of need to take it off or it gets too hot inside. Okay, the next one is, I'll turn it around. Oh man, I've got my back issues. I just have to spin it on the table here. Okay, now I don't know how many of you have to do that every time you change filament. I hate it being on the back here. So what I did, I hopped on Thingiverse or Universal Printables, I can't remember which one, link will be in the description below. Printed this guy out. It comes with this. Now you are going to need 2 little bearings. They're the same bearings as the wheels on your bed slingers have. So just a little bearing like so. The description has got the size of it, but basically one goes on each side, then pops in like this, and then it can spin. You can then grab this, chuck it on there. That can then sit at the side here. Okay, and this bit here, where it goes, the Bowden tube goes in, you can just pull that out. It just comes out. It's just a little press lug. Leave it on there. Now they've got these pain in the butt things, these little keepers. I've lost one already, but it doesn't matter because it doesn't need to hold in place because you've got the screw-in ones inside, and basically it goes there and basically feed your filament through there. There's less of a kink in the Bowden tube as well. Works perfectly fine. Okay, that's it. Really easy, hey? Now, just hot off the printer. This is one of the comparison prints. So that's how good as that. So this is off the Bambu. Now the K1 has done just as good a job, if not better. But little thing from the Flexi factory. Pretty cool. Let's see the tolerance. See if this bit screws in. Screws in there. Cool. So basically it's a little, you got a little hidey ho in there. I'm going to screw that in. And this is a pen holder. If you want it to be a pen holder, you can chuck this in. Clips in, and you can just spin it around if you want. So it's just a little. I wanted to do, as well as the tolerance test or the overhang test, I wanted to do something that sort of some people might print out as well. So that's one of them, so we can compare them. Now, I'll put my mitts all over this just so you know. Whenever you put your mitts over them, most of you know, I get some alcohol, isopropyl alcohol. I get these little spray bottles. I actually buy it in these things. I think it's can't remember how much, 30 Australian dollars. What's that, 20 US, 15, 20 US. This will last you forever, years and years. It'll last you for. It's 100% too, so it's not of that diluted down stuff, or you can dilute down if you want. And then I get a little $1 shot bottle, and it's really good for spraying on. Then a paper towel, give it a good rub. And now I don't touch where it's going to be printed, because you get the oil off your hands over it and that stops prints, and then that's going to go straight back on the printer. So let's get back into talking mode. Oops, wrong one. Okay, so guys, I hope that was a little bit helpful, nice and short today. Let me know if you want me to cover anything else, but those ones I thought were really handy and useful. I found them handy. I hated, like I said, pulling out the printer to try and get around and get the filament in the back of it, and then you've got to push it through. It's a pain. Oh, one other thing I have found, let's go to the overhead view. I have found when getting filament, I'll get the overhead view, hang on. This one. Okay, I have found when I'm getting filament, one thing to note for, if this is on too much of an angle, the filament won't go all the way down inside the extruder. Therefore, when you click it over to lock it, so you unlock it of course, push your filament through as far as you can, lock it again. Now if it's kinked too far, it won't go down because it'll hit at the top of the extruder. Sometimes I find it easier, I can't get it with my fingers, get my little cutters, get that little guy out. So I found sometimes it's easier just to pull this out. I'll thread this through, I'll show you. And thread it through. It's going to be always a problem with it bending so tight next to the print head there. Come on. It's awkward sitting on top of the table here. So I found a surefire way of getting it to work first time is to pinch a little bit out like so. Thread that through with it unlocked, and you thread all the way down until it stops, and then push the Bowden tube over the top. And I found that, and then put the clip back on, Oh, the little buggers. I've lost so many of these little blue clips around the place. Put the clip back on and it works every time that time. So I found that this kinking so much here or bending so much here, it just puts the alignment, it moves the Bowden tube on an angle like that and it hits the top of the extruder, and when you run your filament through, it's just catching on the top of the extruder, not actually going down into the extruder. So that's what I do when I'm changing filament. I know it's a pain in the butt. You can probably, if the lid's off, give it a bit more and straighten it up when you're pushing it in, but I don't know. But anyway, okay guys, there you go. Oh, God, I'm getting old. Okay, so the next one will be, I'm going to try and start on the filament tonight. So hopefully I'll have it out in the next couple of days. Okay guys, see you later. Have a nice day. Oh, subscribe if you haven't already and give us a like if you found this helpful. Thank you guys. Bye. Hi guys, just to add on, I found a printables file that allows you to straighten that Bowden tube up a bit. So I've included it in the description down below if you want to print it out and chuck it on your printer. Okay, see ya. Guys, those that you may have noticed, I had a little helper today. He's my little droid. You can see my droid. He holds my magnetic toolbox on his head. It's pretty cool. So he's one of the ones I printed up with the Bambu Labs and my bed slingers.